Hi everyone, I'm Ken Efseroff, and welcome to New to the Streets Exploring the Block. On today's show, the world's first all-in-one privacy coin is here, and Apollo Currency will tell us just how they've made it happen on the blockchain. For private equity investors, there's a lot to learn about investing in the blockchain, like how do you put your money to work, and where is the best place to go? All questions Swarm Fund will be here to answer. And deleting blockchain history while retaining full cryptographic security are all part of Pascal Coin's SafeBox technology. They're here to tell you how it enhances your crypto experience on the blockchain. Stick around. New to the Streets Exploring the Block starts right now. And we're back. First up on Exploring the Block, the rise of the cryptocurrency market has opened up a whole new world of finance and revenue for the world used to using conventional paper money and coins. There are also so many cryptos to choose from, but my first guest says they've created the first currency to streamline your experience on the next generation blockchain. Apollo Currency is here, and AJ Moore is the company's spokesman. AJ, welcome to New to the Street.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here.
It's our pleasure. Now, for people just looking in right now for the first time, explain Apollo.
Well, Apollo has a vision to create the first all-in-one cryptocurrency. And what it's doing is it's allowing anyone, any user to do any active blockchain task and get everything that you would get from any mainstream cryptocurrency all on one platform. It's really the ultimate cryptocurrency. We have a feature-rich, it's also the most feature-rich currency that is out there right now. And like I said, it allows for all of the different tasks that you would do on the blockchain to be provided all on one platform.
We'll get to
and that's pretty impressive.
If you do say so yourself.
If I do.
You must be the spokesperson.
I am.
Funny. Now, we will get to the features in a second, but first of all, everything's in a name, so people might say, Apollo, is that space travel? Is it Apollo Creed from Rocky? No, how'd you come up with the name?
Apollo. Well, that's a good question. Apollo was the name that our PR director, Steve McCullough, gave the foundation that funded the whole thing. And it's just kind of stuck. Our entire blockchain, for example, is Hermes. It's got that kind of Greek mythology kind of vibe to it. Our Olympus protocol, for example.
So what separates Apollo Currency from others within the growing crypto space?
Well, like I said, we are the all-in-one privacy coin that really allows for all of its features to give everyone the anonymity that they want in cryptocurrency, as well as getting all the different breakthroughs of privacy technology in the blockchain. There are many coins who do different things. Apollo does all of those layers in one. So what we like to encourage investors, and we appreciate this, the opportunity to come on a show like this to let people know what Apollo is about, is that this is a real viable option if you want to expand your portfolio with cryptocurrency, because this is something that's going to have a long-term possibility. It's a great investment. And Apollo is separated by everyone else because, like I mentioned, again, it's got all of the layers of privacy that certain coins have all in one, and it's got incredible features.
Now, Apollo is setting itself up to help, quote, bank the unbanked. I love that term. Explain conventionally what that means for the novice crypto person and plans that Apollo has to make that happen. Bank the unbanked.
Well, that comes from the fact that mass adoption is still one of the greatest challenges for any cryptocurrency out there right now. Even though Grandpa Bitcoin is 10 years old, you know, it's still, people are still trying to figure out what in the world blockchain is. And the mass adoption struggles and challenges have been things like accessibility. You can't invest or be involved with crypto unless you have a bank account, unless you have a computer, unless you have some knowledge and obviously a lot of patience. What Apollo is doing to kind of break through some of the mass adoption barriers is a few things. The first one is we're actually setting up physical locations. We've got some already in Africa and Australia, and we plan to have thousands of them all over the world, where you can literally walk in with cash and you can acquire Apollo. That's a huge opportunity for allowing more mass adoption. One of the other things is that we also, even though we're a privacy coin, we also provide a public transaction feature within our privacy coin, so that, for example, if you had to track something like a shipping order or whatever and wanted to use our blockchain, obviously you would need a little bit more of just the privacy features. And so we're allowing for private and public transactions as an option instead of just exclusively private. We're also making it possible for better mobile application technology so that people can readily have access to Apollo on their devices. And those are some of the ways. The other really important part that Apollo is playing is we have real world use case uses for Apollo, and that's one of the big barriers as well. A lot of people are trying to figure out what exactly does blockchain do, and most cryptocurrency investors, they want to invest in a token's value or a coin's value and try to obviously create some wealth and increase their portfolios that way. But Apollo actually has a blockchain that has real world use, and so that's another way we're gonna go for that mass adoption.
Now, Apollo will have a decentralized exchange in their wallet. Explain what that means and why it's so important. I keep hearing decentralization, decentralization. Lay it out in 30 seconds.
Okay, well, obviously the centralized system is really, I believe, about control, making sure that you've got this third party involved in the control of your funds. One of our statements is the only person that should be in control of your funds is you. A decentralized exchange within the wallet just allows you to have not only your Apollo safe and secured in your wallet, but to be able to trade from it on your actual wallet instead of having to go to a third-party exchange. So that's pretty cool, and a lot of people are seeing that as a really great breakthrough for crypto's future.
Last thing, if people want to learn more about Apollo currency, where do they go?
ApolloCurrency.com, real simple, ApolloCurrency.com. Get all that you need to know about the ultimate cryptocurrency.
All right, AJ Moore and Apollo Currency, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Our pleasure. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching New to the Street. I'm Ken F. Saroff. I want to talk to the company Swarm, which is from the Bay Area and Berlin, with the company's co-founder, Timo Liez. Welcome to New to the Street.
Thanks very much, Ken.
It's our pleasure. So talk to me right now, for people just looking in. When I hear the word swarm, I think of bees flying around.
Yeah.
That's really the only time you ever use the word swarm. But for you guys, it's a little bit different.
It's a little bit different, but there's a connection to that connotation. So basically, Swarm is a blockchain solution for co-ownership of high-value assets. So the idea being that if you tokenize assets, then you can have multiple owners taking part of the, let's say an investment or owning a property together.
And what type of assets are we talking about here?
We're talking about real estate funds, private equity funds, venture capital funds, anything that has like a high value or high threshold to get into associated with it, so that you would only be able to buy into it if you had like several $1 million.
And what is the advantage of buying a high asset fund using Swarm versus conventional currency?
Well, the tokenization allows a broader audience to access these assets. So today, if you want to buy into them, you can use traditional currency. It's just that you need a few $1 million to buy in. So that's really the main difference.
How is it more advantageous to use Swarm to purchase a high asset versus using conventional currency? Do you split the difference when you're using Swarm tokens versus regular cash?
Not really. I mean, it's still the same purchase. You're still purchasing the same asset. It's just the process and the efficiency around how you do that that's different.
And what is the update with Swarm right now?
Well, so last year there was a lot of speculative investment going into the crypto space. Now this year the market has settled and basically gone down a lot. So a lot of people have, the sentiment has changed, and the focus has shifted a lot more to asset-backed tokens, such as the ones that you find on Swarm. So when people are wondering about what is the underlying value of, let's say, Bitcoin or Ethereum or Ripple, the token, then it's quite difficult to quantify what the underlying value is.
What's the difference between an asset-backed token versus something that's not asset-backed?
Well, the way we define it and the way we look at it from a kind of Swarm's perspective is that if it's possible to get like a third party, such as a KPMG or somebody else, to actually audit the asset and put a stamp on and a value on it, such as that you can do on a hedge fund or a private equity fund or a real estate fund, then that's what we call an asset-backed token.
Are there other firms working with asset-backed tokens, and at the same time, who are the customers? Who can buy them?
Oh yeah, I mean, so other firms, with the shift of focus from cryptocurrency investment to asset-backed tokens, a lot of firms such as Galaxy Digital and Harbor and other people predominantly have shifted their focus from focusing on cryptocurrencies to asset-backed tokens. And that's just a natural evolution of, let's say the speculative era of crypto is pretty much over right now. So, we shift the focus to more fundamental things, such as asset-backed tokens.
And after someone bought asset-backed tokens, where can they sell them if they want to get rid of them?
So this is something that's coming predominantly next year. So we're seeing that a lot of licensed exchanges is what we call them. Basically marketplaces where you can buy and sell security tokens, which are, regulated securities. So in order to be able to trade those, you need to use licensed exchanges. And we have partnered with a firm called Open Finance here in the US, and we have a couple of other partners over in Europe as well. So that whole infrastructure is kind of being built out right now as we speak.
What's the next big thing going forward with Swarm? What's next?
Well, so the next big thing is really going from, let's say, a lower number of investment opportunities on Swarm to a very large volume of investment opportunities. Because everybody has their own preference. If they want to buy into real estate, they're in one category. If they want to buy into tech, they're in another category. So the next big thing for us is just to kind of make the process of tokenizing assets very cost effective and straightforward. So today that's a super complex and expensive process. So we have there are companies in the US right now that are charging $250,000 to create a security token. So our view is that that process should be very cost effective but still regulatory compliant.
They're almost like trying to force you not be able to afford to do it.
Yeah, and it's only, it's only kind of limits this to some institutional funds and so on. And we want to open it up for a broader kind of spectrum in the sense that if a company wants to issue a token, it shouldn't be complicated, it should be straightforward, and they should be able to do it, in a regulatory way, but without spending a fortune on it.
And how can our viewers get started if they're interested in swarming to Swarm, so to speak?
Best way to start with Swarm is to go to invest.swarm.fund.
Tim Elias from Swarm, thank you very much for joining us here on New to the Streets, Exploring the Block. Please come back and keep us updated.
Thank you, Ken. Thanks very much for inviting me.
Our pleasure. We're back after this. Welcome back. You're watching New to the Streets, Exploring the Block. I'm Ken Evseroff. Robert Milletta is Consensus Network's founder and CEO. Robert, welcome to New to the Streets, Exploring the Block.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's our pleasure. So let's get right into it for people just looking in. What is Consensus Network all about?
So the Consensus Network is a blockchain-based social media project. To simplify it, it's basically like if you took Google, Facebook, GoDaddy, and Craigslist and kind of moshed it all together, took what all those companies do well, and decentralized it into a new type of hybrid. So basically, it allows individuals, publishers, vendors, enterprise, bloggers, publishers to be able to create their own social media platforms. This is kind of a truly revolutionary idea where anyone has the ability to make their own Facebook. And we give them the technology to do that. So the heart of the project is what we call the decentralized search ledger, which is basically a decentralized version of a search engine. And you can use our suite of products, of software to, and our marketplaces. We have a web hosting marketplace where people can, buy web hosting to, put their website on. And we have a widget marketplace as well, where people can go in and buy different types of social media widgets, like a polling widget or a hashtag widget.
Now the project sounds interesting. Why does the project require a token?
So the project requires the token because you have to be able to purchase memberships. So a publisher might want to create a membership to a site for, say fantasy football is a big deal right now, right? So you might want to become a member of a fantasy football club that's running on our blockchain social media platform. And you could go in and you could purchase a membership. Also, to get on the decentralized search ledger, you need to do what's called staking coins. So basically, you have to have our coin. Our coin is called the IMO Coin. That's for, in my opinion, we are a social media project, so we think that's appropriate. You go ahead and you buy coins, you put them in your wallet, and that gives you the ability to go on into either actual build your own platform using our software that's enabled by owning our coin in your wallet, or you can go and use that to also list the coin, list your website on our decentralized search ledger.
Now, what problem did you see that inspired you to create the Consensus Network? Obviously, there was a reason why you said, I want to do this.
So I love that question. It's mainly because I was seeing a lot of things happening. Every single day, there's a few things we're seeing. We're seeing censorship of the internet, censorship of social media platforms. Facebook, Twitter, kicking people off left and right. Now, some of those people deserve it, but at what point does this stop? So I saw censorship in social media as a main problem between people and just like the whole planet actually being able to interact and talk to each other. So I thought to myself is, how can we create a social media platform that that cannot be censored and that exists on the blockchain and everywhere and anywhere at the same time, so we can't be shut down. The second part was the user data. We're seeing how Facebook and different companies were using user data in unscrupulous ways. This is exploiting people on a massive level. I want to be able to give people the ability to take the information they create on their platforms or their social platforms, their communities, and give them the power to monetize it or not, or to give it away or not.
What would you like the public to know about the Consensus Network, and how can they learn more and get involved with the platform?
So right now we're at the proto startup point with Consensus Network. Human resources is the most important thing. We need people, we need developers, we need lawyers, we need people to come on and work on the team, like chief technology officer. We need advisory board members. So the most important thing that we need is the human resources to take this project to the next level, because we're shooting to do a token offering in the next 6 months. So we really need people to know that if you want to change social media, if you want to change how the fundamentals of the internet works and help decentralize the internet as well as social media, I invite you to come on board, and you can reach us by going to Consensus Media, consensustoken.net, or you can go to our Twitter, which is @ConsensusToken.
Excellent. Well, Robert Milletta, founder and CEO of Consensus Media and Networks.
Yes, both.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, and keep us up to date.
Great. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Up next, Pascal Coin and their global adoptive scale for the next generation of crypto along the blockchain. You're watching New to the Streets, Exploring the Block. I'm Ken Efseroff. We're back after this. All right, safety inside the blockchain is job number one for Pascal Coin, and here to explain how their technology is keeping crypto users safe is Herman Schoenfeld, Albert Molina, and John McPherson. Gentlemen, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having us.
It's our pleasure. So, Albert, give me a summary of what Pascal Coin is, who you guys are right now, and how you came to fruition.
Well, Pascal Coin was created in 2013 when I discovered Bitcoin. So I needed to understand how Bitcoin works, because I wanted to explain to my friends why it will be an amazing technology for the future. But when I was searching for technical information, I discovered that was hard for me to explain. So I was thinking, is it possible to create something that works like a traditional bank? Because it will be more easy for me to explain to my friends, but with the same technology that the blockchain. And this is how I started the Pascal Coin, because Pascal Coin is a blockchain technology that works more similar than a traditional bank.
What made you want to start Pascal Coin? You looked at Bitcoin, it was there.
Yes.
And something clicked in your head that says, I want to make Pascal. Why?
I am an engineer, a developer. I needed to understand this technology. I wanted to create something, but I was not only searching for investment. I was searching for knowledge, for massive knowledge.
Herman, you have the same curiosity as him?
Well, I was in cryptocurrency since I first heard about it in 2011, and I was actually trying to solve the same problem that Pascal Coin solved, which was the scaling issue. Because what's happening in crypto is that the technology is really great, and it does provide the world a decentralized financial system, but it doesn't scale for global adoption. So what attracted me to Pascal Coin was the fact that it does scale for global adoption, and I joined the project on after I saw that how Albert solved the issue. So yeah, that's how I joined the project.
And what makes Pascal Coin different from every other cryptocurrency out there in the chain?
Well, number one, it's an original coin. It's not a clone coin like most other coins out there. It has, the scaling architecture is really unique in that it can scale for global adoption, unlike so many other coins out there. And it has a deletable blockchain, which most other cryptos don't have. So the problem with blockchains is that over a long period of time, they're just going to grow and grow and grow. So after, say, 100 years, a typical blockchain may require a data center just to store. But Pascal Coin can actually be stored in a phone after hundreds of years of use. So I think that is one of the major differences in Pascal Coin. And also we have decentralized mining, which a lot of other coins don't have.
Excellent. Talk to me about your role within the company.
Sure. So I've recently been brought on as COO at the company. My background is actually compliance programs and business development. I saw Pascal Coin. One of my friends had told me about it, and I was just a really big fan of their vision and the team. Too many teams just don't have a proper vision, don't really understand cryptocurrency. So I'm happy to see the scalability issue solved with Pascal Coin. So it really attracted me to it.
And the main difference between Pascal Coin and Bitcoin is what?
Mostly it was the deletable blockchain that really, the scalability was really what drove me to look into it a lot more.
If you are somebody that knows the technology, you will understand that a deletable blockchain is important. If you are somebody that you don't know the technology, you have no interest in the size of the blockchain, but you will be interested in easy to use. So if you have short account numbers, if you see that your transaction, that your money is stored in an account number like in a traditional bank and not in a long address like currently in Bitcoin or Ethereum, I think it's more easy to understand for this kind of people.
What is Pascal Coin's fiscal policy in terms of pre-mines, ICO, insurance, and early investors, and liability?
Oh, great question. So Pascal Coin was launched in a fair manner, the same way that Bitcoin was launched. There was no ICO, there was no pre-mine, there's no early investors that have a disproportionate hand. So, and that's a really fundamentally important point for a cryptocurrency, because in order to achieve adoption as a currency, the monetary history of the world shows that you need to have a fair distribution of whatever it is that is going to be used as a currency, whether it be a token or a commodity or a precious metal or whatever, it has to be fairly issued. You can't have a situation where a few people hoard the supply. And this is why, to reach adoption as a cryptocurrency, we had to launch it in that manner.
All right, so if people want to learn more about Pascal Coin, where can they visit?
Well, the best way is to go to www.pascalcoin.org and just check out the website, download the software, play around with the software, and then you can join our Discord, which is our social media platform where we organize our community and the development team. And you can join that from a link on the website. It's in the social media section. And that's the best way to get in touch with us.
Excellent. All right, we're going to leave it right there. Herman, Albert, and John of Pascal Coin, thanks for coming and joining us.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. All right, you know, if you would like any information on any of the companies you just saw, visit exploringtheblock.com, click Contact Us, fill out the form, and someone will then contact you. Or if you want to speak with someone, we have people. Just call area code 631-465-0284 or 631-356-2078. That's it for this edition of Exploring the Block. For all of us here at New to the Streets Exploring the Block, I'm Ken Epsaroff. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.